10 habits every single day. That's the difference between just managing type 2 diabetes and actually being able to reverse it. What I am about to teach you is not a crash diet. It's definitely not a 90-day program that you abandon after week 3. It's just 10 things that I want you to build into your daily life. They are going to compound over time, and they're going to change the underlying biology that is driving your high blood sugar levels. I am an exercise physiologist. My last A1C was 5.1%, and my daily fasting blood sugar is around 86 milligrams per deciliter. These are not lucky numbers. They are quite literally the result of doing these 10 things consistently. And I have taught thousands of people how to do the same thing. So listen up. By the end of this video, you will have an exact daily blueprint of what you're supposed to do to finally lower your blood sugar levels and keep them there. And if you comment guide below this video, I'll go ahead and send you our ultimate blueprint for perfect fasting blood sugar with 3 weekly meal plans to choose from, completely free. Okay, let's go through all 10 habits. Habit number 1, close your eating window by 6 to 7 p.m. maximum. This first habit sounds pretty simple. Stop eating by 6 or 7 p.m. at the latest. This does not mean start your meal at 7. It means take your last bite by 7 p.m. And here's why this matters more than most people realize. Your body runs on a 24-hour internal clock known as your circadian rhythm. And your metabolism, your blood sugar levels, are deeply tied to that clock. Insulin sensitivity, which is basically how well your cells are responding to insulin, is significantly higher earlier in the day. And it drops slowly as the evening progresses. By nighttime, your cells are naturally more resistant to insulin. So when you eat late, you're eating at the worst possible time for blood sugar management. As a matter of fact, a 2021 study published in Nutrients examined how the timing of food intake affects glycemic control and found that earlier eating windows around 6 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. produced significantly better blood sugar outcomes. Also, when you stop eating earlier, you give your body a longer overnight window in which insulin can stay low. This is when fat burning happens, when cellular repair happens, and especially your insulin receptors get a chance to reset their insulin sensitivity. So if you go to bed by 11 p.m. like me, your eating window closes at 7 p.m. This is a non-negotiable. Habit number 2, at least 2 resistance training sessions per week. Muscle is your body's primary glucose disposal system. You hear me say this all the time because it's the truth. The more lean muscle you carry, which is built through resistance training, the better glucose clearance that you're going to be able to have at any time of the day. This isn't an opinion, it's actually basic physiology. As a matter of fact, a study published in BMJ Open Diabetes Research and Care examined resistance training in people with type 2 diabetes and found significant improvements in HbA1c, fasting glucose, and insulin sensitivity. So 2 full body sessions per week. Now, 3 to 4 is optimal, but if you can start with 2, you're going to see a fantastic difference in your blood sugar levels. Now, you should focus on compound movements like squats, presses, rows. Those movements recruit the largest muscles in your body simultaneously. 30 to 40 minutes per session, that's all you need. And you actually don't even need a gym. You can just get some resistance bands and do it at home. The point here is progressive overload, which means that you're consistently challenging your muscles more and more to grow over time. If you need help with this, I have a YouTube video that you can watch by clicking right here in which I explain every movement. This video applies if you have a gym membership or if you want to do the exercises at home. So please go ahead and watch it. Every pound of muscle that you add is more glucose disposal capacity. Habit number 3, move throughout the day, not just during your workouts. This is a habit that most people completely overlook, and it actually might be the easiest one on the entire list. Your muscles quite literally have the ability to pull glucose out of the bloodstream without the need of insulin. They do this through a mechanism known as contraction-mediated glucose uptake. Every time your muscles contract, basically every time you move, this pathway activates. The problem is that if you have a desk job and you're sitting for 8 hours and only working out for 1 hour of the whole day, you're leaving a huge metabolic opportunity on the table during that sedentary time. A 2025 study published in Sports Medicine found that breaking up long periods of sitting with short bouts of movement throughout the day significantly improved blood sugar control compared to remaining sedentary. Movement isn't just a workout, it should be an around-the-clock metabolic tool. And the practical application is actually quite simple. After every meal, walk for 10 to 15 minutes. This is one of the highest leverage habits to flatten post-meal blood sugar elevations. Also, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Stand up every hour and do a quick walk around your house or the office. Do 20 squats between meetings. Go up and down the stairs for 3 minutes whenever you can. All of these minutes accumulate, and every contraction activates your insulin-independent glucose disposal system. Habit number 4, 2 supplements that directly improve insulin sensitivity and glucose uptake. I want to talk about supplements the right way. Science first, product second. There are 2 compounds with strong clinical evidence for improving how your cells respond to insulin. If you didn't know, insulin is this key that opens the door of the cell so glucose can go in. And you want your cells to be sensitive to that key. I take both of these supplements every single day. First, berberine, 600 milligrams in the morning and 600 milligrams in the evening with food. Berberine basically activates your AMPK pathway, which is your cell's master metabolic switch. When this pathway is activated, it improves how much glucose is being absorbed by your muscles. And it also reduces glucose production by your liver. It's a double effect that helps you lower your blood sugar levels in an easier manner. A 2025 meta-analysis published in Frontiers in Pharmacology analyzed 12 randomized controlled trials covering 889 participants and found that berberine significantly reduced fasting glucose, HbA1c, and insulin resistance markers. Now, timing matters. Take it at the very start of your meal. Don't take it at the end. This maximizes its effects on post-meal blood sugar control as well. Now, the second supplement is magnesium glycinate, 275 milligrams right before bed. Research estimates that between 14 to 48% of people living with type 2 diabetes are magnesium deficient. And magnesium is directly involved with insulin receptor function. Without enough magnesium, your receptors quite literally can't work properly and accept the insulin key. A recent meta-analysis examined magnesium supplementation and insulin sensitivity and found significant improvements in insulin resistance markers in people with metabolic disorders. Magnesium glycinate is the form that you should be looking for. It's the most bioavailable and gentlest on the stomach. And the glycine that it's bound to has actually calming properties, making it one of the best magnesium forms for both insulin sensitivity and sleep quality. I use our own brand, Jade Supplements, for both. Jade Supplements is fully focused on making nature's most powerful blood sugar supplements. We basically want to attack high blood sugar from all different angles, from insulin sensitivity to proper gut health. If you're interested in magnesium and berberine, the links will be below this video with a discount code as well. Habit number 5, hit 30 to 35 grams of fiber every single day. Every day, no exceptions. 30 to 35 grams of fiber, non-negotiable. A 2024 systematic review in the World Journal of Diabetes analyzed 26 studies and found that higher fiber intake significantly improved HbA1c, fasting glucose, triglycerides, LDL cholesterol, and body weight. The benefits were most pronounced when people consistently hit 35 to 40 grams per day. So here is how it works. Fiber actually slows down how fast glucose is absorbed into your bloodstream, quite literally flattening the blood sugar spike before it even happens. And it also feeds your gut microbiome, which produce something known as short-chain fatty acids and directly enhance insulin sensitivity at a cellular level. Two mechanisms working together every time that you eat it. So what does 35 grams of fiber look in a typical day? A cup of cooked lentils gets you about 15 grams. A cup of black beans is another 15 grams. A cup of raspberries adds 8 grams. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds gives you 10 grams. You can mix and match around the day and you hit 35 grams without even trying. There's basically endless foods that contain lots of fiber. But if you want a meal plan for free that contains the exact amount of fiber that we recommend, go ahead and comment guide below and I'll send it your way. These meal plans will teach you what to eat for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for desserts, snacks. So don't miss it. Comment guide below and give me a few hours to reply and send you the link. Habit number 6, track these 3 blood sugar numbers. You simply cannot reverse something that you're not measuring. And most people are only tracking 1 number when they should be tracking 3. Number 1, fasting blood sugar. You can check this daily with a basic glucometer that you can get from any pharmacy. Check your blood sugar before you drink or eat anything. Ideally, early in the morning before you start moving around. The target should be below 100 milligrams per deciliter, but an optimal level would be below 90. Number 2, your HbA1c, also known as a simple A1c test. This is your 3-month blood sugar average. Ask your doctor every 3 months to get this test done if you're actively trying to reverse insulin resistance. Your target should be below 5.7% to hit the non-diabetic range. My A1C currently sits at 5.1%. And number 3, fasting insulin. This one is probably the most important one and the one that doctors don't really check. Fasting blood sugar can actually look normal while your pancreas is working in overdrive, producing more and more insulin in hopes to keep blood sugar stable. That excess amount of insulin production would show up on a fasting insulin test. Now, when you have your fasting insulin number and your fasting blood sugar number, you can calculate something known as HOMA-IR, Homeostatic Model Assessment of Insulin Resistance. The formula is fasting glucose in millimolars per liter multiplied by fasting insulin in milli-international units per liter, divided by 22.5. A score under 1 is optimal. Above 1.9 suggests early insulin resistance, and above 2.9 is significant insulin resistance. My HOMA-IR is 0.85, well below what's even considered at risk. And this comes from consistency with all the habits that I'm telling you right now. Habit number 7, protect your muscle mass as you age. After the age of 30, you naturally lose 3 to 5% of your muscle mass per decade if you don't actively work to preserve it. This process is called sarcopenia. And for someone managing blood sugar, it's one of the most dangerous things that can happen to your metabolism. You already know every pound of muscle you lose is less glucose storage and disposal capacity, less insulin sensitivity, less glucose clearance from your bloodstream. Resistance training, which I talked about in habit number 2, is the primary defense. But there is one supplement that can directly support muscle preservation and has a surprisingly strong connection to glucose metabolism: creatine monohydrate. Creatine helps your muscles store more phosphocreatine. This is the energy currency during high-intensity muscle contractions. More available energy means a better output in each workout, faster recovery, and more stimulus for better muscle growth. Research has also shown that creatine increases glycogen storage capacity in your muscles, which is directly relevant to blood sugar management. The dose is pretty simple: 5 grams dissolved in water every single day. The timing of the day doesn't really matter. I personally like to take creatine with my post-workout protein shake. So if you look in the mirror and you see what people call skinny fat, you don't look obviously overweight, but muscle definition is absent, or if your body fat is above 30%, creatine combined with resistance training is one of the most potent targeted interventions that you can make. Again, I take Jade Supplements Pure Creatine Monohydrate because I care about quality and what I put in my body. Pure Creatine from Jade Supplements also comes with a free muscle toning guide. If you're interested, I'm also going to leave a link below this video. Habit number 8. Stop trying to avoid every craving. Control the portion size instead. Now, this habit might surprise you the most in this list. And it's actually something that I wish more people in the diabetes and metabolic space talked about more openly. Trying to achieve perfect dietary discipline at all times tends to backfire. When restriction is the only strategy, the eventual lapse becomes a binge. One bad meal turns into 3 days of derailed eating because the all or nothing mindset that makes a small slip feel like a total failure. The research on dietary adherence consistently shows that flexible restraint produces better long-term compliance than rigid restriction. So the goal isn't to never eat something off plan. The goal is to control the portion size when you do, and to have metabolic support in place for when the lapse does happen and you don't want to undo your progress. And this is where berberine earns its place a second time. By supporting insulin sensitivity consistently, 600 milligrams of berberine twice daily, you maintain a more stable metabolic baseline even during an imperfect eating day. One slice of birthday cake doesn't tank your A1C when your cells are insulin sensitive and your daily habits are solid. Consistency over perfection. That's going to be the standard from now on. Habit number 9, add nuts and seeds to your diet. Most people managing blood sugar levels are too focused on what to remove from their daily diet. But this habit is about what to add, especially nuts and seeds, which are going to help you fill in the gaps for some mineral deficiencies that most people don't even know they have. Walnuts are the only nut significantly high in ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Omega-3s reduce cellular inflammation, which directly improves insulin receptor sensitivity. Almonds are one of the best dietary sources of magnesium. Yes, the same mineral we discussed in habit number 4. 1 ounce of almonds provides roughly 20% of your daily magnesium requirement. Pumpkin seeds are exceptionally high in magnesium and zinc. Zinc plays a direct role in insulin production and secretion from pancreatic beta cells, and zinc deficiency is associated with impaired glucose metabolism. Lastly, chia seeds deliver 5 grams of fiber per tablespoon, along with omega-3s, magnesium, and calcium. Habit number 10, follow us on social channels. Yes, I'm including this in habit number 10, and I'm completely serious about it. None of these habits that I just walked you through would work without one main thing: consistency. And yes, consistency is the hardest part. Not really because the habits are difficult, but because life gets in the way. Sometimes motivation fades, or you just had a bad week. But the research on behavior change is clear here. Environment and repeated exposure to reminders are among the strongest predictors of adherence to new habits. When the information that you consume daily reinforces those habits, you are much more likely to stick with them. So yes, that is what following our accounts does for you. Type 2 Diabetes Revolution here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, you name it. Find us under Type 2 Diabetes Revolution. Every time a video shows up in your feed or every time that you get one of our emails, that's a reminder to get back on track with the 10 habits that we just talked about. Again, you can find us in all social channels under Type 2 Diabetes Revolution. We are a team composed of Diana and Jose, myself, a registered dietitian, and an exercise physiologist, teaching people how to reverse the underlying cause behind high blood sugar levels. And please don't forget to get our free guide with 3 different meal plans to choose from. So go ahead and comment guide below this video. You've got this. Build the habits, stay consistent, and your labs will show it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.